Hey guys, welcome back to Let's Play Dark Souls. So, if you've come here, I guess that you want to hear all of the spell descriptions since we've gone through and shown them all off. I've read through a lot of them over the course of the playthrough, but I figured why not have one singular place where you can listen to all of them at once. So we've got a lot of reading to go from pretty much here all the way down to here. This might be a very long episode, I don't know. I'll try and speed through it, but you know, gotta keep some kind of pace. So, alright. So first off, Soul Arrow. Elementary sorcery, fire soul arrow. Soul arrow inflicts magic damage, or soul arrows inflict magic damage, making them effective against iron armor, tough scales, and other physically resilient materials. Great soul arrow is sorcery which improves upon soul arrow, fires strong soul arrow. At the Vinheim Dragon School, the acquisition of this spell marks an apprentice's coronation as a sorcerer. Heavy soul arrow is a soul sorcery emphasizing power. Fire heavy soul arrow. A more powerful but also slower sorcery. Difficult to use due to a long cooldown and a limitation on the number of castings. Great heavy soul arrow, sorcery which improves upon heavy soul arrow. Fire strong heavy soul arrow. As difficult to use as heavy soul arrow, but powerful enough to make it well worth it. Adored by certain sorcerers. Soul Mass, sorcery developed by Big Hat Logan. Fire homing soul mass. Life originates in the soul. No wonder the soul mass draws toward it. This sorcery is a window into Seeker Logan's methods. And homing crystal soul mass. Sorcery boosted by the knowledge Logan acquired at the Regal Archives. Fire homing crystal soul mass. The mysteries of souls, crystals, and the sorceries are deeply intertwined. Soul Spear, sorcery developed by Big Hat Logan. Fire-piercing Soul Spear. A symbol of Logan's strength, the Soul Spear is referenced repeatedly in the legends, and is said to be on par with Lord Gwyn's lightning. And we have Crystal Soul Spear, sorcery boosted by the knowledge Logan acquired at the Regal Archives. Fire-piercing Crystal Soul Spear. These pale magic spears, sharpened through crystallization, are on par with the armaments of the ancient lords. White Dragon Breath, sorcery developed by Logan during his infatuation with Seath the Scaleless. Emit crystal breath of Seath the Scaleless. Although it no longer causes curses, what madness caused old Big Hat to appropriate this frightful power of the ancient dragons? Magic Weapon, sorcery for casters who wield swords. Magic Augmentation, right weapon. The power of the magic swordsman of Vinheim is predicated upon this in Magic Shield. Many warriors learn sorcery just for this. And Great Magic Weapon. Sorcery which improves upon Magic Weapon. High Magic Augmentation, right weapon. At Vinheim Dragon School, only magic swordsmen on special orders are allowed to learn this spell which grants powerful augmentation to various weapons. And Crystal Magic Weapon. Sorcery boosted by the knowledge Logan acquired at the Regal Archives. High Magic and Crystallization, right weapon. Logan's trials were successful, and the crystal medium facilitated a stronger bond between weapon and soul. Magic Shield, sorcery for casters who wield swords. Magic Augmentation, left shield. Shields augmented by magic are resistant to magic attacks and have higher stability. This spell makes it possible to challenge powerful foes with a small shield. And Strong Magic Shield, sorcery which improves upon Magic Shield. High Magic Augmentation, left shield. At Vinheim Dragon School, only magic swordsmen on special orders are allowed to learn this spell, which grants temporary strength to great shields. It works on any shield, really, but... Oral Decoy, sorcery used by playful sorcerers. Lure enemies away by creating a sound originating in the distance. This spell is not the first choice for serious sorcerers, but it has a surprising amount of applications, some of them extremely effective. Hush, sorcery developed by a certain surreptitious sorcerer at Vinheim Dragon School. Masks all noises of caster. Effectively, Vinheim is controlled by the Dragon School, and it is no wonder that the town has its share of dark secrets. Fall Control, sorcery developed by a certain surreptitious sorcerer at Vinheim Dragon School, reduce damage and noise from fall. This sorcery, along with Hush, explains the extravagant cost of hiring Vinheim spooks. Hidden Weapon, ancient sorcery of the lost land of Ulasil, turns right weapon invisible. Not a simple augmentation, making it dependent on the skill of its caster, an example of the capacity of Ulasil sorceries to control light. Hidden Body, ancient sorcery of the lost land of Ulasil, turns body nearly invisible. Although perfect invisibility is unachievable due to the risk of dissipation, the caster need only stand still for a moment to blend into environs with astounding camouflage. Repair, ancient sorcery of the lost land of Ulasil, repair equipped weapons and armor. This sorcery was a part of everyday life in Ulasil. Its effects resemble repair powder, which must have found its way into the culture of this lost land. Cast Light, ancient sorcery of the lost land of Ulasil, casts a bright light upon surroundings. This light-producing sorcery is elementary, but nonetheless demonstrates the achievements in mysticism of Ulasil. Such magic has not been developed, even in Vinheim. We have Chameleon, ancient sorcery of the lost land of Ulasil, transform into something inconspicuous. A separate stealth spell from Hidden Body. A skilled stealth sorcerer must be aware of his or her surroundings, and of which objects are prime candidates for imitation. Remedy, sorcery of the red-robed Yulva, one of the sealers of New Londo. Reduce bleeding and poison buildup, and undo various poisonous effects. One of New Londo's unique healing sorceries. Perhaps she abandoned her sealer duty to take her healing arts back to Blighttown. Resist Curse, sorcery of the red-robed Remedician Ingward, guardian of the seal in New Londo. Sacrifice humanity to undo curse. That's actually not true. It doesn't undo curse, it just gets rid of the buildup and might give you resistance, but I don't think that actually applies. Anyways, you don't sacrifice humanity. That only works when you actually speak with Ingward. Moving on. Abhorrent curses eat away at the core of one's very existence, and cleansing oneself of curses is no easy task indeed. Dark Orb, abyss sorcery discovered by an Ulasil sorcerer on the brink of madness. Fire giant dark orb. In contrast to standard soul sorceries, abyss sorceries are weighty and inflict physical damage. Perhaps human souls, because of their humanity, produce sorceries with more tangible presence. Abyss sorcery, Dark Bead. Abyss sorcery discovered by an Ulasil sorcerer on the brink of madness. Fire successive dark orbs. In contrast to standard soul sorceries, abyss sorceries are weighty and inflict physical damage. Perhaps a human soul is closer to matter in its humanity. Dark Fog. Abyss sorcery discovered by an Ulasil sorcerer on the brink of madness. Create a cloud of dark fog. Although dark fog is, in theory, relatively close to humanity, it also happens to be a terrible poison for humans. Perhaps it reflects man's cruelty against his own. Pursuers. Sorcery of Manus, father of the abyss. Grant a fleeting will to the dark of humanity and volley the result. The will feels envy, or perhaps love, and despite the inevitably trite and tragic ending, the will sees no alternative and is driven madly towards its target. It's a little poetic. Okay, so moving on to pyromancies now. We have Fireball. Standard pyromancy of the Great Swamp, hurl Fireball. The fire damage caused by fireballs makes them effective against corporeal beasts and undead, who by nature fear flame. Fire Orb, pyromancy which improves upon Fireball, hurl Fire Orb. The flaming fire orb explodes upon impact, causing fire splash damage in a spectacle which seems to symbolize the strength of the fire-manipulating pyromancers. Great Fireball. Ultimate Fireball Pyromancy. Hurl Giant Fireball. Salaman, the Master Pyromancer, also called the Great Fireball after this spell, believed pyromancy was rooted in an adoration of fire. Those who acquire this spell usually agree. Great Chaos Fireball. Art of the Flame of Chaos, which engulfed the Witch of Izalith and her daughters. Hurl a giant Chaos Fireball. The Flame of Chaos can melt stone, producing a short-lived lava glob. Firestorm. Primal pyromancy taught by Quilana of Izalith. Erect fire pillars in vicinity. The storm of flame is indiscriminate and incinerates all nearby life. Fire Tempest. Primal Pyromancy of Quelana of Izalith. Erect giant fire pillars in vicinity. The tempestuous, raging flames resemble those summoned by the Daughters of Chaos when they challenged the ancient dragons and scorched the very earth. Chaos Storm. Art of the flame of chaos which engulfed the Witch of Izalith and her daughters. Erect localized chaos fire pillars. The Witch of Izalith, in an ambitious attempt to copy the first flame, created instead the flame of chaos, a twisted bed of life. Combustion. Elementary pyromancy. Create powerful flame in hand. One of the most basic pyromancies. For this very reason, the flame thus created is fierce. Great combustion. Pyromancy which improves upon combustion. Create powerful giant flame in hand. Great combustion creates a powerful flame, but many sorcerers mock the simplicity of this spell. Fire surge. Pyromancy foreign to the Great Swamp. Create a surge of flame from palm of hand. Not all pyromancy originates in the Great Swamp. One hears rumors of unknown pyromancers inhabiting various lands, and this spell is the work of one such outlander. Fire Whip. Primal pyromancy taught by Quelana of Izalith. Sweep foes with Fire Whip. The root pyromancy of combustion, but much more difficult to wield. Chaos Fire Whip. Art of the flame of chaos which engulfed the Witch of Izalith and her daughters. Sweep foes with Chaos Fire Whip. The Fire Whip was wielded by the eldest of the Daughters of Chaos. Poison Mist. Unique pyromancy crafted by Aingi, considered a heretic even at the Great Swamp. Create Poison Mist. Aingi became an egg-bearing undead who serves a deformed young girl who speaks an unintelligible tongue. Toxic Mist. Unique pyromancy crafted by Aingi, considered a heretic even at the Great Swamp. Create intense poison mist. Why was Aingi driven from the Great Swamp? One need only cast this pyromancy, a perverse diversion from the art of fire, to find out. Acid Surge. Pyromancy foreign to the Great Swamp. Emit acid which corrodes weapons and armor. Not all pyromancy originates in the Great Swamp. One hears rumors of unknown pyromancers inhabiting various lands, and this spell is the work of one such outlander. Flash Sweat. Pyromancy of Carmina, who harness the power of flame to actualize the inner self. Intense sweating reduces flame damage. Carmina, the most accomplished pupil of Salaman the Master Pyromancer, pioneered new directions for the art of pyromancy. I just want to point out here, it's neat that Quelana teaches Salaman, and Solomon returns to the Great Swamp, and in turn teaches Carmina, who creates these pyromancies that reflect on the self. So they're more supportive to yourself. They're inward rather than most of them, which are outward. And then there's Aingi, who's just kind of off being a jerk with all of his poison and toxic mist. Anyways, Iron Flesh, Pyromancy of Carmina, who harness the power of flame to actualize the inner self. Iron Flesh boosts defense and resilience. Use of this pyromancy requires caution as the caster becomes exceedingly heavy and unable to move freely. Power Within, Pyromancy of Carmina, who harness the power of flame to actualize the inner self. Short strength and endurance boost, but lose HP. Excessive power eats away the life force of its caster, and like all dangerous spells, Power Within was kept secret for eons. Undead Report. Advanced Pyromancy of Quelana of Izalith. Charm Undead gain temporary allies. The living are lured by flame, and this relationship is part and parcel to the art of pyromancy. Can be used by either gender. It's kind of a charm spell. Black Flame. A pyromancy discovered from the dark of the abyss by a pyromancer who wandered into Ulasil. Conjure a great black flame in one's palm. Black flames are weighty and inflict physical damage, enough to smack away the mightiest of shields. And moving on to miracles, last. Heal is elementary miracle cast by clerics, restores HP. To cast a miracle, the caster learns a tale of the gods and says a prayer to the blessed, to be blessed by its revelations. Heal is the shortest of such miraculous tales. Sorry, I can't talk. Great Heal Excerpt. Great miracle cast by advanced clerics. Restores high HP. Great Heal Excerpt borrows from only several verses of Great Heal. As a result, it can only be cast a stark few times, as in once. Great Heal. Great Miracle cast by advanced clerics. Restores high HP. Great Heal is a long tail, only learned by a select few. No caster will be disappointed by the bountiful life that it yields. Soothing Sunlight. Special Miracle granted to the Maidens of Guinevere, Princess of the Sun. Restores high HP for self and vicinity. The miracles of Guinevere, the princess cherished by all, grant their blessings to a great many warriors. Replenishment, common miracle amongst cleric knights, gradual HP restoration. Beware of the cleric knight blessed by replenishment, for he shall not fall easily. Bountiful Sunlight, special miracle granted to the Maidens of Guinevere, Princess of the Sun. Gradual HP restoration for self and vicinity. The miracles of Guinevere, the princess cherished by all, grant their blessing to a great many warriors. Force. Common miracle amongst cleric knights, create Shockwave. This quickly acting miracle inflicts no damage, but propels foes back and defends against arrows. Cleric knights use this miracle when charging into enemy mobs. Wrath of the Gods. Primal form of force. Create powerful Shockwave. Wrath of the Gods was an epic tale that tattered over time and devolved into the modern force. This primal form of force emits a shockwave that also inflicts damage. Emit Force, Outland Miracle, foreign to the Way of White, emit Shockwave. Considered an alternate branching of force, emits an expanding shockwave orb. Magic Barrier, Miracle of Bishop Havel the Rock, cover body in defensive magic coating. This coating greatly boosts magic defense, assisting warriors who must face the magic which Bishop Havel countered so proficiently. Great Magic Barrier, Miracle of Bishop Havel the Rock, cover body in powerful defensive magic coating. Havel the Rock, an old battlefield compatriot of Lord Gwyn, was the sworn enemy of Seath the Scaleless. He despised magic and made certain to devise means of counteraction, which I believe refers to the little basement chamber in Anor Londo that sort of hint at plans for mutiny, which is pretty neat. Homeward, great miracle cast by advanced clerics, return to last bonfire rested at. Would normally link to one's homeland, only the curse of the undead has distorted its power, redirecting casters to a bonfire. Or perhaps for undead, this serves as home? Seek Guidance. Miracle of clerics on an undead mission. Display more guidance from other worlds. Guidance facilitates communication between undead, but their value varies greatly. A balance of faith and wisdom is required. So I think that's more of a figurative meaning of wisdom rather than actual intelligence stat wisdom. So, Karmic Justice, Miracle of the Black-Haired Witch Velka. Temporary auto-counter versus heavy damage. For each sin there is a punishment, and it is the task of Goddess Velka to define the sin and mete out the punishment. Vow of Silence, Secret Rite of the Black-Haired Witch Velka, prevents casting of magic within effect area. Velka, the goddess of sin, is a rogue deity, but she is versed in arts both new and old, and is considered to have a great range of influence even as gods are concerned. Tranquil Walk of Peace, Outland Miracle, foreign to the Way of White, slows all walking within effect area. This miracle is normally used to flee, as it slows walking but does not affect attacks, but nevertheless defines peace perfectly. Lightning Spear, miracle passed down to those bound by the Warrior of Sunlight Covenant. Hurl Lightning Spear. Lightning Spears inflict rare lightning damage and are very effective against magic, fire, and most of all, dragons. Great Lightning Spear, miracle passed down to those bound by the Warrior of Sunlight Covenant. Hurl Giant Lightning Spear. The weapon of the God of War who inherited the sunlight of Lord Gwyn, but had respect only for arms and nothing else. This one can actually only be cast when you're a part of the Warrior of Sunlight Covenant. And this one as well, Sunlight Spear, miracle born from the fading soul of Gwyn. Hurl Sunlight Spear. In the war that marked the dawn of the Age of Fire, Gwyn wielded these rays of sunlight, which remain fierce even as they fade. And you have to be a Warrior of Sunlight to cast that one as well. You also need 50 faith, which is a lot. Sunlight Blade. Miracle wielded by Lord Gwyn's firstborn. Boost right weapon with rays of sun. The power of sunlight, manifested as lightning, is very effective against dragons. When the eldest son was stripped of his deific status, he left this on his father's coffin, perhaps as a final farewell. Dark Moon Blade, miracle granted to those bound by covenant to Gwendolyn, Lord Gwyn's last-born. Boost right weapon with rays of Dark Moon. Can only be used in the Blades of Dark Moon Covenant. The power of the rays of the Dark Moon are manifested in vengeance, and the deeper the animus, the more devastating the attack. Our last two here, Gravelord Sword Dance. Miracle known only by the servants of the first dead Gravelord Nito. Giant Gravelord swords jut out in vicinity. Nito sleeps deep within the giant catacombs, quietly overseeing all death and waiting for his servants to usher in the Eye of Death. Gravelord Great Sword Dance, miracle known only by the servants of the first dead, Gravelord Nito. Giant Gravelord swords jut out in vicinity. Many have died, and many eyes were claimed to realize the Great Sword Dance, a Gravelord ritual known only by his closest servants. But you actually don't have to be a part of the Gravelord Servant Covenant to use either of these. It gets more powerful when you are and when you rank up, but it's not necessary. And I guess that covers everything. Oh, Soothing and Bountiful Sunlight, those two miracles, those can only be used when you're part of the Princess Guard Covenant. That's the other one I didn't really mention while I was reading over. But otherwise, everything else is pretty much fair game. Sorceries don't really, play favorites at all. Neither do Pyromancies, but miracles, a lot of them are Covenant exclusive, which is kind of funny. Regardless, that is everything, and I managed to do that in a little under 25 minutes, so thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed that little reading there. Gives us a little more insight into all of these different spells and all that good stuff, so yeah, I'm gonna go and punch this crossbow guy. See you guys.